I'm a professional videographer, and for more than 10 years I've been bringing my cameras and lenses to my vacation, but recently I stopped doing so, and let me tell you why. What's good guys, my name is Oleg Nikitin and you're watching No Limits On channel. So this is the reason why I stopped bringing my cameras and lenses to my vacations, the iPhone 15 Pro Max with the introduction of Apple Log. First of all, the image quality is great when you know how to use it and how to expose it correctly, and also how to color grade it in post. Also, there is no more annoying over-sharpening of the image and tone mapping, which was a pain in the butt, basically, for me at least. But now the image quality is really comparable to, for example, my Sony FX30, which is filming me right now, so you can see those images side by side, and it's hard to tell a difference, even on a bigger screen. Your phone is always with you and it has much smaller form factor as well as a bigger screen, much bigger screen than my mirrorless camera, and also better battery life. And considering the fact that it's so much smaller, you can compare those side by side and see how much smaller it is. Just look at this difference, guys. It's like night and day in terms of weight, size, and overall space that it takes in your backpack. The iPhone has much better stabilization, so previously I had to stabilize my clips in post with Catalyst Browse software using gyroscopic data with my Sony cameras, for example, or I had to bring the DJI Ronin S to my trips, which is 1.5 kilos by itself, it's super heavy, or I had to make mostly static shots, which is not always convenient. But with the iPhone, especially with the native camera app, it's much smoother, and even in Blackmagic camera app, when you're using Apple Log, you can set it to cinematic or extreme stabilization levels and get very smooth shots. If you have enough shutter speed, it should be short to get the best results. There is a misconception that the files from the iPhone in Apple Log are simply huge, but it's not the case. When you're using Blackmagic camera app, especially H.265 codec, you get really small file sizes and you don't even need to purchase 512 gigs or 1 terabyte SSD storage on your iPhone. One more advantage is true 10-bit footage, which contains up to 1 billion colors, guys. And don't forget that you can film up to 4K 60, which is more than fine, at least to me. But you would ask, what about low light performance? And I would tell you that in Apple Log, up to ISO 2000, you get pretty nice image quality when you use the main lens, the 1x lens. And here are some sample shots in really low light situations using ISOs at up to 2000. And as you can tell, guys, it's looking very nice. I shot most of my vacation videos without any accessories and handheld, and even without an ND filter, the image looks okay for your memories, for family stuff, etc. And don't forget, guys, that you have much less things to worry about. For example, the elements, you can throw it in the water and it will be more than fine, whereas your camera is really afraid of a heavy rain, for example. Also, your iPhone is not gonna be stolen for you easily, and you can find it with Find My app with your MacBook or, I don't know, the iPhone or your wife or something. And after our backpack with $10,000 worth of gear was stolen in Italy, I'm like paranoid about it. So you have less things to think about and to worry about when you bring only the iPhone with you. And there are less things to charge as well, because you don't need to charge your camera. You also don't have a hustle of sending the footage from your camera to your smartphone to share in the social media platforms. By the way, my wife uses Apple Log and Blackmagic camera app with the built-in LUT or baked-in LUT to post for Instagram stories, and a lot of her friends and colleagues, photographers, they say, wow, this footage doesn't look like it's shot on an iPhone, it looks like a camera, a proper one. Photos are also decent, especially when you use 48 megapixel mode and RAW photos, but also the portrait mode is fine for memories and family stuff, and it's more than fine if you plan on watching it on social media platforms or in your family album, for example. One more benefit is that you don't have to switch lenses. You have your lenses from 13mm full frame equivalent to 120mm, and there is no such lens in the world that exists for proper mirrorless cameras, for example. You can use something like 20 to 70mm f4, which I'm handling right here, but it's not as wide as 13mm. It's a huge difference between 13 and 20mm, guys, on full frame equivalent, and it also doesn't have as big of a reach because 70 and 120 is also a pretty dramatic difference as well. And guys, this lens by itself is the price of the iPhone 15 Pro Max 256 gigs, and also it's 2 times heavier even without a camera. So if you want a good compromise between image quality and much less weight and less worries in your travel, Try using Apple Log with iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max, or wait for the 16 Pro and Pro Max, and maybe even the regular 16s will have Apple Log enabled as well. You'll be pleasantly surprised with the results, and I assure you guys, you'll enjoy your trip much more. If you want to learn more about Apple Log, here is a video tutorial about it for you to watch next. And if you did enjoy this video, please smash the like and subscribe buttons and hit the notifications bell. See you in the next video, guys. Take care. Bye.